Dr. Edmundo Gamas, which is the executive director of the Mexican Institute of Infrastructure Development, which is the first horizontal organization which is trying to deal with the joint between the private sector and the public sector to do intelligent public works and to deal with intelligent infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Maybe you are the best in the panel to talk about what are the barriers to that we have to cross to put these two way of thinking together and try to walk in the same direction. What we have to do.
Right. Well, thank you very much to our hosts for having me today, and to all of you for being here, including my fellow panelists. I think that I would like to make an opening statement in the sense that when you have dysfunctional infrastructure, as we do in many of our cities in Mexico, sadly, that always comes, the cause of dysfunctional infrastructure is a dysfunctional infrastructure ecosystem. Okay,
that's a consequence.
Right. I mean, if your ecosystem is not functional, neither will your infrastructure be. And there are enormous problems as we approach the issue of intelligent cities. I'm amazed at the technologies that now exist. I mean, we are constantly being approached by companies that have truly amazing ways of collecting data, truly amazing ways of through the Internet of Things and other ways, other means, that have the ability to process that data using advanced software and analytics in the cloud and other ways. It really is not a lack of technology now to have intelligent cities, because the offerings for a city to be able to control, let's say, the most important variables, which are energy, water, mobility, safety, public lighting, are all there. The technologies are all there, right?
But we know how much we need.
Well,
the data is
right.
Available.
Oftentimes it's not even collected. No, so the technologies are there, but we're not adopting them. I mean, we are not bringing these technologies into our cities. And I think there are, I cannot possibly address all of the reasons, but I will try to highlight the ones that I think are the most, let's say, important or severe. The first one is that we have extremely short city management cycles. We have 3-year mayors who, until only very recently,
until the last election,
can only be re-elected.
The re-election, yes.
Right, but this re-election
for one period,
which is for one period and is not going to happen for everyone, is not a real solution. No, I think we need to give mayors 6 years. I say this, because to adopt any kind of intelligent city software and system, it takes 1 to 2 years to plan, 1 to 2 years to implement, and 1 to 2 years to begin operations. So with less than 6 years, as our governors have, or our president has, you're not going to get it done. Another thing which I think is important is to begin to adopt, and this very rarely exists in Mexico. I mean, I think a delegation in Mexico City, Miguel Hidalgo, has a city manager now. Yeah. We don't have the figure of city managers. This means that every 3 years, not only is there a change, but there's a change in the entirety of the personnel operating a municipality. We have no civil service in the municipality. Again, these very advanced solutions for smart cities, they demand having people who are knowledgeable in this and who are essentially career people operating these technologies, right? So I think as Dr. Angel was mentioning, we definitely need to have in this new law, I mean, these would be very important changes to have, to give mayors 6 years, to allow city managers and civil services to arise, no? And the other thing, which is always a constraint for municipalities, is the financial constraint. All of these technologies eventually have to be paid for by the city in some way, shape, or form. And I think that in Mexico at this time, the majority of the municipalities in the country, their two main revenue sources are the property tax and the water bills, right? Which are the two
two
things
main-
that they control.
But make the budget, yes.
And many municipalities in Mexico do not actually have an accurate property count or water main count. So we begin with the problem that they can't even charge all the users, and then the monetary numbers that are charged. If you think that in the U.S. Property taxes might be paid perhaps 2% of a property's value per year, in Mexico it's only a very tiny fraction of that. And therefore, cities are effectively trying to operate themselves without revenues. So again, without revenues sufficient, you're not going to be able to incorporate intelligent solutions. So I think those, in my mind, are the basic constraints that we're facing to the introduction of technologies, which are all there.
Okay. So since these three visions of what has to be done, I want to add something. Our rules in the municipality level are trying to build solutions for the manager, for the city mayor, to work with the people of tomorrow, or the tomorrow problem. And since that lack of money, that it's always a problem, the big public works has to be paid by big debts that the municipalities and the state government has to endorse. And in the same moment, the rules are stopping what has to be done, because the rules are not, they do not agree with what is happening. If you want to put a new type of lighting, a new type of electricity, and whatever new technology or green technology it's available, you have to deal with the rules that are there, which says no, the caliber or the size or the form or whatever, it has to be this. So it has to go to a new authorization from the ayuntamiento, or maybe from the state government. So you have a determination that says, okay, you can do it. And investors they have to deal with that delay, which sometimes is critical for their business, and they prefer to go some other way, which they could find someone who deal with this easily.